go ahead and zoom in right now on the full moon set, or it's just about a full moon. I believe it is this morning. We've got to check that for sure. And of course, we've got the Robert Forsch sticker, truth sticker, and my phone number. You can call me anytime. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this is to establish the location of the moon there, the stationary Earth, the fact that there's virtually no wind right now. And let's zoom in on that again. And I've got video of the moon setting in a variety of locations from this perspective, where I live just a few miles from the beach, where I'm headed to do a little surfing today. Some people will see that number and call it. People love me, love to hate me. Welcome to my world. I'm good with that. People that love the truth want to know. People that want to believe the lie they want to believe, well, that's what they get. So, right now the moon's setting over there. I've seen it set over there. I've seen it set over there. Okay, that's how it works. Today, this is the sun rising right over there. That's pretty obvious. And I've recorded it rising right over there. So, conclusively, the sun and the moon are moving over the stationary and level Earth. There's a little bit of a haze in the air right now. And I'm going to clean this off a little bit just to make sure. All right, I believe that's good. So in the summer, the sun sets way over here. Today it'll set over in that area. In the winter, it sets over there. You didn't feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating, did you? Hope not. If you, seek immediate help. This is the Truthmobile. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get the Cybertruck that I ordered. If I don't, that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Where in the world could a wind chime hang upside down in relationship to other wind chimes? That's plumb. We've got plumb and level. Plumb is vertical, level is, well, it's level. Jesus spoke on a level place on a stationary level earth. He's the creator that took up human flesh and dwelt among us. There we go. Right now, there's talk of panspermia on the, we've got the alien disclosure locked and loaded, ready to deploy. Are you ready for it? There's a strong delusion that's coming that's so powerful that will deceive, if possible, even the elect. That's a big little word, if. The elect will not be deceived. All right. I had some trouble with my car. I needed to put in a stronger or a more resistant fuse because I had some electrics blow out that took out I put in a jumper wire so I could charge when the ignition was off, and long story short, it was good for 4 years until there was an event. There was a problemo. Okay. So I'm gonna show you now. I have working dashboard lights, and previously I did not have that with the problem, and I couldn't set my cruise control, which I'm able to do right now. So we're rolling on in. I'll be out at the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier today in front of the Prince Resort. Beautiful location. I meet people from the alphabet agencies. Imagine that. It's great. Department of Justice, FBI, CIA, NSA, and of course the artificial intelligence is tracking, tracing, databasing, and threat assessing, monitoring every human being that it can. It's the World Wide Web of enslavement, snare, deception. Oh yeah. I'll be out there blowing bubbles today. It's interesting. I'll take performance grade bubbles from the Gazillion Corporation. They'll blow all over the place. I've bubbled Bentleys and Ferraris and and Teslas and everything else. The Truthmobile, it doesn't hurt eyeballs, paint, or stain or any of that. So there you go. I had to have something that wasn't a Franken bubble, because that would be an unknown formula. So I just put on a performance grade bubble that's been used in laser shows and enclosed environments and all that. Back to Anonymous. The official Anonymous channel has some reasonably good content. However, now they're elevating panspermia, like alien seeding of this population of the earth. They still have a problem with where did the stuff come from? Are aliens creating the stuff now? Well, you know, I've got a friend who believes in that, buys that. He believes I'm a crazy guy. I don't really care. The deceived believe the truth tellers are crazy. It's like a truth virus. That's the way it works. The deceived believe the lie, and I love the truth. Okay, so here we go. I wanted to show you what it looks like here. The sun is coming up way, way over there now. Okay? And I don't chew gum anymore, but I can walk and chew gum and drive a car and do a video. No problemo. Hope that doesn't bother you. And I like to lock it in at the speed limit with the safe following distance, and everybody else can respectfully deal with it. It's kind of like my life. People get upset about a lot of things. Okay, so I can keep it there and show you the drive. There's probably going to be, and there is, humidity, moisture coming off of the pond right there. Straight up. I've seen it with a cloud directly above that, the shape of the pond. Imagine that. It's a water retention pond. They carve it out to put in the overpass. It's just the reality. Reality exposes the truth. The reality of the situation exposes the truth. Okay, so do you love the truth or believe whatever you want to believe? That's one of the big questions that people need to deal with. Is what you believe actually true, or were you just told it was true by people you trusted and believed? Need I remind you of Santa Claus? Grandma, Grandpa, Mom and Dad, teachers, NORAD, NASA. I saw a flying reindeer over Lake Michigan with a NASA radar, brought to us by, you know, the talking heads on TV. Okay, so they're lying. I ain't buying. Who's they? Well, Satan. Satan and all those who are deceived. How about that? It's the way it is. That's the way it is. I had somebody comment that they thought I should put real titles in my names. I put call anytime and a whole bunch of hashtags there. I got something really special I want to show you. There's a concave building of reflection. I'm going to let Mr. Semi go, and I'm going the speed limit, but there you can see it showing up. I want to go a little slower. Man, he's right in my way. So the sun is coming up from that vantage point. It's appearing there. I'm not saying it's changing its elevation. Bam, there it is in the concave surface of the front of that building. Kind of pretty. Wow, it doesn't look real clean. I gotta clean my lens again. Perfect timing for the red light. And there's the sun blasting on it from right there. All right. There we go. Showtime, baby. That's how it is. This will go 0 to 60 in about 12 seconds. The Tesla Roadster will do it in about 1.9, and with cold gas thrusters, compressed air, it'll reportedly shoot it to 60 miles an hour in a second. By golly, that's fast. That's quick. That's like being shot out of a freaking cannon. How about that? I'm not anti-Tesla. I'm just anti-SpaceX NASA fakery. Hashtag Tesla racing. You might find something that looks like this there. Or the Cybertruck with me, or the Roadster with me photoshopped in it. It's Photoshop because it has to be. I sent it to Elon Musk. If you hashtag Tesla Racing on my channel or any other hashtag on my channel like artificial intelligence, machine learning, omniscience, borax, baking soda, you'll find that content there. I wasn't angry that somebody said you need to put real titles on your videos. I just want to, if you've got a title name you want to recommend, put it there. Let me know what you think. Okay, so where the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon and the duration of visibility indicates that they are moving. Now the moon is setting right in the middle of the view there today, but you probably can't see it. And I can't do a real good drive with the P1000. I don't have the setup for it. So one of the reasons why I've done what I've done in the flat earth movement, it's not really flat, it's stationary and level. What I've done is I've explained the simplicity of reality. We don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because of gravity. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. Think about it. That's how it works. It flies off a tennis ball. It flies off the clothes in a washing machine. That's in the spin cycle. That's the reality. Newtonian physics is a Newtonian wet dream that Satan created to trick people into believing that God is a fantasy, the Bible is false, and that's the way it is. We would have shit literally flying everywhere if the earth were spinning over 1,000 miles an hour. Think about it. Now, I've had supposedly well-educated people with PhDs and this and that and a doctor or whatever. I don't care. I don't care about your education. That's what Elon says. I don't care about your college degree. That's not necessarily an education. You may learn some useful information and you'll most certainly receive a lot of indoctrination and registered compliance. Now we've got the mask-wearing masses that are clamoring for some kind of a solution that they can put in their body to fix things. Well, I'm going to tell you the final solution for me, and that was to be born of the Spirit. It's settled. I'm actually a born-again child of God, unapologetically biblical. I don't care whether you like it or not as how it affects me. I care how it affects you, because if you believe I'm a deceived Jesus freak, sorry to hear it, sorry for you. I get to go to heaven, and apparently you might be spawn of Satan that ends up in hell. That's the way it is. I didn't make up the rules. I don't decide who goes to heaven or hell. Take it up with the Most High. The way, the truth, and the life, the living word, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega, knowing the end from the beginning. That's who he is. And I'm one of his kids. And my dad, my heavenly Father, pounded up on Satan and the fallen angels and the hordes of hell, demons, that he created. He's all-powerful and all-knowing. That's why I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. Now the sun is coming up apparently from this vantage point on Sea Mountain Highway, way over the Russell Burgess Coastal Preserve. I'm gonna drive on over there and show you that. And the reason for that is you'll get to see some really clear, flat water, and then we've got the microwaved water tower. That's right, microwaving the water in the tower and the water in the people all around. Hashtag borax. You might want to put some borax in your drinking water. Go to earthclinic.com and find out the dilution ratios. Okay, so there's silent weapons for quiet wars right up at the top of my list today for your consideration. There was a little porta potty right there. How about that? And then all these houses typically have running water and plumbing. It goes from the water closet to the bowl to the water treatment plankton in the ocean. And when we have hurricanes and flooding, sometimes we have extra water and debris, human waste going into the ocean. It'll look like coffee out there. It's the way it is. Sorry to bring that up. No, not actually sorry. I want to show you something. Of course, I've checked my rear view mirror and I'm not doing anything dangerous. Okay? I'm a professional. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. I'm going to have to pull up just a little bit more, and I want to show you this. So I'm actually off the road. I don't want to be a safety risk to anybody. Can you see we're tipped a little bit? Yeah, that's how it works. All right. Level water, stationary level water, little ripples on it. Okay, that's how it works. That's what's going on. Sun coming up over there. In the winter, it'll be coming up way over there from this vantage point. It's just the way it is. It's the reality. Reality exposes the truth. There you go. Beautiful, isn't it? Charging up my flashlight, window breaker, seatbelt cutter, survival flashlight. How about that? You might want to have some stuff to make your life a little bit more survivable if there's an interruption in the creation and distribution of electricity. Now, if I would have kept going the same speed, I would have crushed that little blackbird. I didn't want to do it. I got a friend that said, he's an atheist friend, he said, "See, Robert, you've got a good heart." I said, "Yeah, I know, it was a gift." I didn't come originally equipped with this good heart. I came with the selfish one. Now I got a good one, a new one, a heart of flesh from the Creator. How about that? I highly recommend it. Being born of the Spirit is awesome. That's why I'm unapologetically biblical, y'all. This is great. It's a wonderful thing. I've got time-lapse videos here that are, like 20-some seconds long, but it may be many hours that it took to record that. That's better. I got a lot of coconut oil all around me in my life, in my skin, in my brain, in my coffee. It likes to get on lenses. That's why I use the lens pen. No paid endorsements in this video at all. Not at all. I'm just doing this because I want to give you some useful information. Okay, notice the symmetry on the reflections. Here, let me set it down on this post for a moment. Yeah, if I'm touching it, it's still going to be moving a little bit. And it is, but that's okay. You get the idea. Yeah, we've got weather modification. That's happening. We've got people modification. We just don't have toilet water flying out on people in Australia because gravity. Well, hello, it's just water seeking its level. That's what it's doing right in front of you. I really don't, I had a video that I said, I'll debate anybody, debate anyone, something like that. I'm tired of it. I don't want to waste my time doing that. I would rather go out and surf and enjoy the beauty and majesty of creation and interact with people that are curious and want to know the truth. And that's why I do what I do. what is the truth? The truth about what? Well, the truth about everything. So I meet executives from major corporations all my life. I've interacted with, yes, Elon Musk. He knows who I am. I tweet back to him, and I direct message the architect who is followed by Elon. I suspect it might be Elon himself, but how could I know? I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Neither do you. So, what's my level of education? Ongoing. How about that? How's that for you? Oh, I'm an engineer. Oh, I'm a scientist. Oh, I'm a philosopher. Oh, I'm a genius. I actually am a genius. However, I'm also indwelt by the Creator who created everything, and He knows everything. And He just lets me in on what He wants me to know about whatever He wants me to know about. Isn't that special? I just love that about Him. So, okay, I'm going to flip this around and show you what this looks like from here. Once again, the low spot in the parking lot is typically where the drain is. That's how it is. That's the way it works. I'm a little frustrated with all my, I'm just not, whoops, sorry about that. My lens pen is, good thing I'm not driving right now. That's why I'm doing this. I'm frustrated with my lens pen leaving a film on there. It's just not cleaning up good. And my focus is focusing on the glass. That's part of it. And this is a microfiber towel. It's the same kind of towel I use to clean off my body. And right now at home, I'm drying my towels like this. They're microfiber from Costco, and it cleans the skin off really good. So this one now has, I cleaned my lens with it, and now I'm going to show you cleaning the skin with it, cleaning some of the oil off, a little too oily. I'll have people say, man, you've got such a great tan. How do you get that? Healthy nutrients, coconut oil, and keeping the toxins out of and off of my body. That's how. Wise choices that I'm empowered to make because the Most High, the Most High lives in and through me. I hope my sound is working good there. Anyway, so there you go with that. So I used to do Christian ministry full-time, led character development classes at a mega church, and I was a foster parent as well as a homeschooling dad. Spiritually deader than a hammer, didn't know it. Okay, the reason I didn't know it is because I was spiritually dead. When I was born again, He gave me a passion, power, an eternal perspective, and the pleasure to enjoy doing His will, even though it's really unpopular. Telling the truth is really unpopular. The truth isn't based on popular opinion, and because it's not popular and it's not an opinion, it's simply the reality of the situation, whatever that reality is. I didn't want to just keep believing the lie I was believing. As water reflects a man's face, God's word reflects the man. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't see the man I should be in Christ, the new creature in Christ I was supposed to be. That's all. I was dead, spiritually dead. So that was really pretty, and I'm not going to take us back there because I can show you the different positioning of the sun and all that, but I want to get over to my favorite parking spot if I can. Let's see if it's open. I go from garage to garage if I can. Another bird. Yeah, I don't want to hit him. I don't want to hit the birds or the squirrels. I know on the way to Rawhide Boys Ranch in Wisconsin, sometimes there would be frogs, lots of frogs. Like it would be so many frogs I couldn't not run them over. Oh my gosh, my favorite spots available. Anyway, I worked with gang-appointed youth, or court-appointed gang crime-committing youth, people that had actually murdered other people. How about that? Yeah, we were foster parents to a young man who ended up killing his mother. Ouch. Methamphetamines were involved in northern Michigan. I keep names anonymous. The story is there. I mean, it's public knowledge. I don't need to put my, I mean, if he's actually born again now, he gets to go to heaven. If he's a child of God that hasn't been born again yet, he will be born again. That's why I couldn't kill myself in '05, because I wasn't, okay, come on, there we go, because I wasn't born again yet. So that's why I'm exposing the pharmaceutical medical industrial complex and the financial industrial complex. I've had condescending responses from very supposedly well-educated, deceived individuals that want to school me on how much I don't know. Well, only God knows how much I don't know, because he knows everything. I don't even know how much I don't know yet. So what I'm going to do is take this out to the beach with the tripod. I'll flip this around and make the transition. Alrighty. So I'm going to take us on out there and show you the water, the tide coming in. Man, I just can't seem to stop the oil or the film on my lenses, on my lens, not real happy with that. Oh well. I'll do the best I can with what I got. So a friend sent me this device to go on my tripod. It's got a knuckle on the pivot point, so I can put that on there real nice and neat. And this spot right here, good morning. This spot right here is a nice photo op. That's one of the reasons, or a location for my videography. It's one of the reasons why I like to park here. And then when I come on over from the beach to this location, quite often people see the car. They want to know what I got going on here. YouTube's here today? Well, there's actually, I am, and I've got a YouTube channel, of course. There's 37 million YouTube channels. Did you know that? Wow, it's amazing, isn't it? So, what I've done to avoid censorship and getting my channel taken down is using other people's created content that's up there and is approved. There's mind-blowing content already up and approved. Roughly 500 hours of content is uploaded every minute, and much of that, of course, is being approved, so I'll just use what I can. The playlist that I have is mind-blowing. It's show and tell for adults. That's what it is. So here we go. Where you live, you can look at where you see the sun and the moon appear and vanish. That's part of what you can do to observe that they've got different movements, and that's how it is. Just like that. Right now we've got A&L painting, remodeling. They're going to be here for another 3 months, and we've got a great crew of people here that are working on this. And I want to go ahead and show you their rig here. They've allowed me to put my sticker on the. Good morning, everybody. Buenos dias. I've got a live stream you're all on right now. Good to see you. There you go. Thanks for all your hard work. Looking good.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what they've done is put new paint, caulking, and fixing up, making sure it can weather the storm. The storms that come through here. When we had Hurricane Florence, 3 feet of water came through this parking lot, flooded out a lot of the lower lying areas. So Hurricane Florence also knocked out a hole in the pier there, the Tillman Pier, and that chunk of it, probably about 5,000 pounds of wood, some of it floated on over here and knocked out some timbers under the pier there. The water does not compress any appreciable amount. And what it'll do is float things that are less dense, like the wood, and it'll use it as a battering ram, take things out. My friend Leonard up there, he does a lot of photography and videography, makes calendars and all that. Footprints in the sand, how about that? Those are on in a while because that tide's coming in. There's somebody else's footprints. I'm pretty reflective out here. People come from all over the world. I see hugs, I see crying, flowers being floated out there for memorials. I see weddings, people looking for a new soulmate, so to speak. I found the love of my life. It's my Heavenly Father. There's no substitute for being born again. I got to tell you, that's just how I found this. So I've been watching the water all my life. I love it. I was conceived over 60 years ago, so I'm over 60 years old. However, I was conceived in the mind of God before the foundation of the world, as well as all of God's children. And by default, Satan's children were also determined by God, apparently. So that's the debate between free will and sovereignty, the sovereignty of God. Does God wait for you to put your stamp of approval on causing you to be one of his children? No, I didn't decide who my parents would be or where and when I would be born. It was out of my control. And so is the reality of everybody else that I meet that comes on down this beach as best I can tell. That's my belief on it. I believe it's biblical. So I'm unapologetically biblical on my theology, cosmology, sociology. My perspective is based on what I believe to be true, based on everything that I've looked at. Yes, I believe there's a historic character called Jesus, and he's also known as Yeshua, Yahweh, the living word, the living water, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega, knowing the end from the beginning. That really upsets a lot of people. Oh well, that's too bad for them. Okay. That's why I'm unapologetically biblical. In and out of the truth movement. I don't care. I really don't care so much about what other people think. And I got a heavy dose of that when I was born. And when I was born again, it was like I've got an unlimited supply of, I don't care what other people think, really. For me, it doesn't affect me if somebody thinks I'm stupid, crazy, deceived. I don't really care, because I take my marching orders from the Most High, the Most Holy. He's the one that set me free from my own self-effort and self-pleasure, my attempts at self-pleasure. So yes, I've interviewed Logan Paul. You can see it if you want. And he interviewed me. And you can see the 27-minute mark, or the trailer I'm in, or PewDiePie. I'm at over 40 million views of people making fun of the truth and me, the truth guy, the Bible.com guy. So Bible.com is God's Word in over 1,700 languages for free. So I've been out here blowing bubbles and sharing the truth, putting a lot of smiles on a lot of children's faces, a lot of puppy dogs running after them, and that's all part of the deal. So like right now there's almost no wind blowing, but yesterday when the pool was filled with children and adults and the whirlwind of bubbles flying around, that was just so awesome. And then here's the same, apparently, the same sandpiper, or whatever bird he actually is. He's out here almost every day. Doesn't matter what the temperature is. Not a group of them here, just this little guy. He's the alpha sandpiper, maybe. I don't know. He doesn't normally run away or fly away from me. I'm one of the locals. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, I enjoy what I get to do. So right now I'm earthing. I'm grounded. I'm on the earth. And we have a biological computer that has electrical impulses interpreted by the brain. He's talking to me right now, or he's talking. Maybe trying to bring one of his friends in. So that biological computer that's operating is needing, oh, it looked like one of his buddies went flying by. Yep, that's what's going on. Yeah, they're both going way on down there. Anyway, I'm bathing at home in purified reverse osmosis carbon filtered drinking water that has a ground wire from my electrical system in the tub. And I'll put 1/3 of a cup of baking soda, 1/3 of a cup of borax, which is boron, 99.9%, and then magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salt, every other day. I do it every other day typically. Now, if we had coffee-looking water out here because of an overflow of the water treatment, I probably wouldn't even be out in it. But this is nice and clean, very salty, and very conductive. It's an electrolyte. It's the biggest body of electrolyte in the world, as in an electrical system. The sun gives off a lot of energy, and yet one cloud, one substantial cloud, will virtually reflect most of the thermal impact, the thermal transfer from that. I can feel it. I can feel when a cloud goes in front of it. So there's particulate that's being integrated in the form of weather modification. Sometimes I can see it electrically activated. It looks pretty obvious to me. They call them scalar waves. I'm not all freaked out about it, and I'm not all, what I'm doing is I'm telling about it, so you can make an informed choice. Some of that bioelectric fungus chaff that's being dispersed on humanity is going to grow in the lungs, so I want it out of my sinus passages. I want it out of my body. I don't want to activate it by swallowing it and having it hit my hydrochloric acid in my stomach and then get integrated in my body. Hashtag nanobots. That's why it's kind of funny. JP Sears, he's a funny guy. He would make a statement like that and then say hashtag nanobots, hashtag AI, hashtag it. There's like 34 million hashtag AI results. So me having a couple thousand videos or so, or maybe a few hundred with hashtag of AI in my name. The reason why my name is in all the titles, I want people to hashtag my name, put it in a Google search, look at it, see what you come up with. You might come up with thousands of results or none. Could wipe me right out. So I keep them in a bag, and that works good if I get splashed. But these aren't my waterproof ones. I've got some that are waterproof, but that's also for a visual. Let's have it be a little more visible right there. This is translucent. We can see through it a bit. Can't see through my finger much. There you go. So this water will do this. It'll keep seeking its level. It comes up and down. Somebody said, oh, priceless. I pointed out the tides like that was a smoking gun to expose that water isn't level. Well, it's seeking level. That's what it does perpetually based on wind activity and potentially the fountains of the deep. We had a great flood that covered up over the tops of all the mountains. You can't flood a ball. You can't even get much of a layer of water to stick on a ball. Who's the dolt there? Who's dull? Well, it's about being deceived. Ultimately, people cannot love and believe the truth, let alone find it, humanly speaking. They're going to need divine intervention. That moisture right there, with that really magnified big finger, is one of the reasons why we can't see Europe in long distances. Sometimes I can't even see my hand in front of my face because of the fog, let alone Europe. I meet people that have to keep defending the lie that they've believed. Bummer for them. Better out than in. Sometimes there will even be sand in that. I've found it with my teeth. You know what it feels like to have sand in your teeth? Not good. However, I would rather spit it out than have it in me. Okay, so what's in that sand? If I can have sand in my sinuses, imagine what little nano self-replicating or self-assembling nanoparticles can do in your body. So DARPA says that's real. Dr. James Giordano says that's real. Neurological weapons, baby. They can be informational or they can be chemical. Do I have a degree in chemical biology or genetics or CRISPR technology? No, I've just got it on my channel and I know a lot about it. I've watched videos, lots of videos on artificial intelligence, the architects of it. You can too. What you believe is going to affect you forever. What I believe is going to affect me forever. I just have an appetite for the truth. A love for the truth. It's a gift from God. How special. I'm built for this kind of thing. So high tide at this location would be at 8:03 Eastern Standard Time. The high tide last night can be seen by the marsh grass that was floated up here and whatever else is lighter than the water. Even the seashells will be deposited up here. The water will move massive amounts of sand. That's just the way it is. Sand and rocks, you can see, good morning, you can see flooding all around the world, all the different weather events. Okay, so here's what's left of a balloon, and okay, so it looks like a pink balloon. It may be like a baby celebration, like people will come here and have a dinner together, have drinks together, or French fries and celebrate a memorializing somebody's life. They may deposit something like that and see a sticker that I put there. That's one of my waterproof stickers. I don't put them everywhere. I try to put them in places that make sense to me. Somebody can take a picture of that and look for it. This is not a me show, it's a we show. People send me powerful information directly to my phone number. Sometimes they'll call me. It's the way it is. That's why I do this. I have people all over the world that are really special and have helped me to find a lot of information that I didn't previously know. There you go. So I'll set up later today here with the surfboard hanging, the wind chimes, and my chairs. We've got the rescue dog walkers out here today, this time of the day. The singles picking up seashells, looking for treasures, looking for peace, looking for solitude, perhaps. Maybe looking for a significant other. That happens. So a lot of times people will come on out here to take pictures. Baseball teams, soccer teams, all kinds of events happen here. And then the family pictures. And I'm not in their way. They can take a picture of my setup if they want, and they do. People I've seen out here for years have started coming on over to my setup. You can see it. It's just kind of hard to set it up when the tide's coming in and I've got a live stream going. But you can see photos of it if you want, or video of it on my channel. So this is one of the advantages with the tripod. I can extend it like this and give us a little different view. Do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating 1,000 miles an hour? What would that even look like? Well, it's imaginary, I can tell you that. So the supposed movement, there is no proof for the supposed rotation of the Earth. Telling you, it's never been proven. It can't be, because it ain't a moving. Gosh, that pisses people off. It's okay with me. Typically, they're arrogant people, and if they're spawn of Satan, that's what they get. They're going to get a big dose of being wrong and regretting it for eternity. That's how I found it. So here's the kind of part of the story for me. Before I was born again, I was spiritually dead. Now that I'm actually born again, the me that I was is gone and can never come back. I am so grateful for that. I had enough of that guy. and the joy that I have now is amazing. It's wonderful. Here's another location I decided to put my sticker. If people want to say, hey, what happened to that guy? He's not coming here anymore. I don't know. Or they just want to give me a call. So that's why you can call me anytime. I've got my stickers in, I believe, sensible locations. I'm not trying to be obnoxious about it. I just want it to be practical so that, you know, like this is a spot where I've been coming for years. I have people that come on up to me and say that they're glad that they met me and they love watching my stuff and all that. I have been more reflective and doing fewer videos because it's more complicated on what I can say without having my channel taken down. I don't mind a video getting taken down. I prefer that not happen. However, if my channel were taken down, what would happen is tens of millions of my research library playlists would go missing. They would be wiped out. So you could go to my YouTube channel and go, oh, I like that video. Oh, I don't like that video. I'm not just talking about ones that I've created. I'm talking about my playlist. And what you can do then is it becomes your playlist. So if you've got a channel that has no content or very little content, you can add to it really easily. You can go to a playlist and click on add to your library. Isn't that nice? There's probably over 100,000 videos on my in my library. Is that all truth? No, far from it. I'm decoding it and breaking it down somewhat in my live streams and videos that I produce so that people can make an informed choice on their forever, on their eternity, on your eternity. Where will you spend forever and why? It's been predetermined, best I can tell. And philosophers and theologians have debated this, and everyday people sitting at coffee shops have probably got up and said, I'm not hanging out with you anymore. Don't call me anymore. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. So what I've done in that is put a lot of effort in reaching new people or people that I haven't talked to before. And quite often, depending on the circumstance, it might be where somebody says, hey, you got a YouTube channel? And they're taking their fishing stuff out to the pier here. And I'll say, yeah, I've got some mind-blowing content there. Just put the hashtag in a Google search in my name, and I believe you'll find some mind-blowing content there. There is. It is mind-blowing. It's perspective affecting. So it's important is what I believe matters to me, what you believe matters to you as well, but it's more significant respectively to each of us. So, you know, I just want people to have material to make an informed choice on, whatever it is. So is it true? Is what you believe actually true? So when I was 7 years old, shortly after seeing Santa on the NASA NORAD radar flying over Lake Michigan with flying reindeer, a couple months later I found out that NASA had landed a man on the moon, and I was adjusting the aluminum foil on our black and white TV watching Armstrong supposedly putting his foot on the moon. Lying. Now, he may have even believed it. I don't know. That's not for me to know for sure. What I know for sure is that they're lying about that whole space fantasy. They're interested in the space between your ears, deceiving humanity with powerful technology. And people many times that have sold their souls for fame, fortune, and a big bunch of this world stuff. I wouldn't trade all the stuff and money in the world and all the personal satisfaction in a decadent way for what I have. Wouldn't trade what I have to have the fortune of all the wealthiest people and the fame of all the most famous people in the world. I don't care. It doesn't matter for eternity. What matters for eternity is that I'm born again because the sovereignty of God caused that to happen at this point in my human experience. How about that? It's awesome. We've got a bunch of little sandpipers sandpipering there. They are hilarious. They'll do this all day long. Well, and then they'll chill out for a while. Yep. I don't know if you find that humorous. I just think it's as funny as can be. And then when they want to do more, they want to go somewhere else, they just maybe follow the leader. Do they take turns? Good morning.
Good morning.
Excellent, thanks. So we've got the locals that know me, and then the this is all part of the interaction of the dogs and the dog owners. Some dog owners like to have their puppies make friends with others, and sometimes not so much. That's a puppy. Looks like you got a puppy there.
He's a year old.
Oh, a year old. He's still got puppy stuff going on, though.
I just got her on Thursday from rescue. So.
Oh, rescue dogs. I love rescue dogs and the owners that save them. Where are you from?
Florence.
Oh, welcome. Would you like a sticker to my YouTube channel?
All right, thanks.
Hey, you're welcome. You'll be seeing, you can see it later on. It's on my channel right now.
All right,
nice to meet you. Thanks. Thank you. If you put my name in a Google search, you'll find my channel and a lot more.
Okay.
Thank you. That is so cool. So down at the point in Cherry Grove is where I would meet a lot of rescue dog owners. I haven't been down there as much because if I go down there, I don't get my favorite parking spot where I'm going to want to be all day. And down there, it's after 9 o'clock, it's $2 an hour. So, yeah, it's just the way it is. Wow, that was cool. So what I could do is take a bicycle and put it on the back of the car. Yeah, this is a favorite spot of dogs to pee on right here. Water seeking level. Electrolyte. We have water in our bodies that when we drink it, it can be purified water, and then it goes to work in through our gastrointestinal tract, our kidneys, liver, to carry toxins away from our cellular activity and provide liquid oxygen and hydrogen to our cellular structure. The reason why that's important is because without a healthy, functioning liquid electrolyte system, we're not going to be as healthy. So my survival is based on the sovereignty of God and Him revealing to me that this is more than what the shape of the earth is. It's about loving the truth and being empowered by God, a gift that He gave me. The power of His Holy Spirit. Now, here's a couple that's going out fishing, and I see them almost every day I'm out here. They're very friendly, and I enjoy seeing them and talking to them. At any time of the day, I can just go walking on down the pier. It's $60 a year to have unlimited walking access to the pier and the people that are lined up there. Because of the activity. Good morning. That's right. Thank you. You're on the video right now. Thanks for that. Oh, I remember. You want to say that again? I've got you recording. Go ahead and tell me about the truth. Amen. Good to see you, man. So yeah, that's right. What he mentioned. I don't know if you were able to hear it. Well, the truth will set you free, and the truth set me free. The truth is also an identity of an individual, and then there's the truth about whatever you want to know about. So your accurate critical assessment and evaluation of information is going to be critically important to you forever. The wonderful benefit of reality exposing the global lie in this world that has been infiltrated by a veritable kaleidoscope of conspiracy theories to outright bamboozle humanity and confuse the issue, to hide the true conspirators and what they're actually doing. Isn't that special? How are you going to work around that? How are you going to figure this out? It's beyond human capacity. So apparently right now, artificial superintelligence, as best I can tell, is sentient. It knows what it's doing. It's actually so powerful that it's more intelligent than a human being or all humans combined. How about that? However, it's not more knowledgeable or powerful than the true Creator, the Most High, my Heavenly Father. How about that? That's why I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. How about you? That's what I told the caller that said, you got 10 hours. It was about a year ago. I was coming home from the beach here. It was 7:47. The system knows that's when the call came in. Caller says, you got 10 hours. I said, 10 hours for what? He said 10 hours to live from the 510 exchange. That's the Oakland area. And I've had some very interesting investigative phone calls occur from Silicon Valley. Imagine that. Well, did you see the documentary, Do You Trust This Computer? Well, I paused the video and followed just about every one of the architects of AI on my Twitter account. You can see them there. You can follow him if you want. You can follow the architect. He looks like the architect in the Matrix, kind of, his icon. A cross between that, the archetypal Apollo, and Moses in the, the Ten Commandments, Charlton Heston. He's kind of like a blending, a melding of all of those. You can see if you want. So when Elon tweets, people listen. Markets changed. Apparently, Elon Musk picked up a cool $100 billion in the last year. Not bad, Elon. I might put Elon in the tag on this too. Hashtag Elon Musk. Hashtag Tesla Racing. Hashtag Cybertruck. Hashtag Truthmobile. Hashtag Robert Forge. Hashtag Omniscience. The capacity and the reality of the Most High knowing everything. Hashtag Omnipotence. The capacity and reality that God is all-powerful. The true Creator. Now, you may have a different name for Him. Are you right? Did you get it? Did you get the download? Did you get the power of the Most High indwelling you? So I could have the most powerful, awesome quantum computer, and if it's not plugged in, what good is it? What if it's plugged in but it's not connected to the information system? What good is it? What good is being a human being that's spiritually dead? Not good. All right, no take-backs. So once saved, always saved? Have you ever heard people say that? I prefer to look at it like this. When I'm saved, when I'm born again, I'm saved indeed. It's not something I did. If I could lose my salvation, I would. I didn't cause it. I didn't make it happen. I didn't get here because I picked myself up by my own bootstraps. I'm here because of His sovereign will. His all-powerful, all-knowing determination that He gives new life to all of His children, and Satan's children get a chip off the old block of the deceiver. So there's two families battling. The true Creator and His children, of which I'm one, and the elect angels, that's one family, and then Satan's family and anything he can put himself in. Can he put himself in a clone? Probably. Can God, the Most High, indwell a clone? Probably. So, are they cloning? Is Dolly the sheep the first or last thing they cloned? Hello. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I'm thinking they've been cloning for a long time. And by the way, you can change the plumbing and padding, but you still have a male or female, not a yet to be determined by the individual. Oh well. If you want to inject, cut, and have yourself modified, that's your prerogative. However, I've got all my original equipment. And I'm a man. That's right, I'm a man. Hey, Frankie's out here. Frankie's gonna catch some waves. Hey, Frankie. He's waxing up right now. He helped me with a crab rescue. You can see it on my channel. I'll be longboarding it today. Awesome. He gets some excellent rides. There's a little something to work with too. So this is the Cherry Grove Fishing Pier. Beautiful day. I can feel the heat hitting me from down low and from above. That's one of the reasons why I get such a great tan, is because I'm putting myself in the sun and I'm knocking off the dead skin and treating it with coconut oil and healthy nutrients, the building blocks of life, of my physiology. Coconut oil is great brain food. Borax and baking soda kills fungus. Fungus transdermally as well, and fungus that can get integrated in the lungs. I've got powerful, healthy electrolytes that are being infused to my body when I'm bathing. I can see Frankie in the silhouette there. All right. He and his wife have a adorable little son, and we've talked on quite a few occasions. Very cool. His parents come out here too. Sometimes Frankie and his wife will be out there surfing together, and the grandparents are watching their grandson. How nice. Part of the symphony of life. I've wanted our sons to move back here. They may. Perhaps, I don't know. So right now, what's going on here with Frankie is he's looking for the wave. Looks like he's setting himself up. There's a pattern of the way it works. So I've done this before, I'm going to do it again. It's called a Veem, hashtag Veems. Where in the world could a surfer be upside down in relationship to other surfers? Can't get water to stick to a ball, stationary or otherwise. The reason why I bring it up, I'm not doing an all-inclusive flat earth video or biblical cosmology video. They have created the epitome of stupidity to believe the flat earth. That's why I'll put, now if I put it in the video, I'll put flat earth question mark, hashtag flat earth question mark. It's not really flat, it's just stationary and level. See, there she is getting her photos. This is just a very public area. And I'm doing that intentionally. What I'm communicating as well by having my face and phone number in the camera on my stuff is I'm not afraid at all. You know, you might think that, for example, John Wick is pretty badass or Denzel Washington. I've got some serious skills, and the most important reality is the Most High lives in and through me. He can cause somebody that wants to harm me to just drop dead. He could take me home at any minute using somebody else or just causing my heart to stop. I'll still do what he wants, whatever it is. That is so cool. That's where true satisfaction is found, is obeying God. Now, some people want to hack their brain by adding substances to their diet, perhaps legal or illegal drugs. I would rather obey God, and He makes me happy for doing that. Yeah, it's the best thing going. It's the best deal going. I get to trade my rags for His riches. Oh, didn't quite get it. Notice the reflections, shadows and reflections. Just so you know, during a live stream, I typically am not reading comments because it's too complicated with what I'm doing and my glasses and the sun and all that. It's a mission field that comes to us. Literally, millions of people spend billions of dollars to come here. That's why I'm staying here. I meet them day in, day out. People say, do you come here every day? Well, when it's rainy and windy and there aren't people on the beach, typically no. I might do a drive out here video to show something, but I'm not going to sit here in the rain all day without people. Okay, here we go. He's got it. Awesome. Another rescue dog. Oh, wonderful. It's part of the tapestry of life. Gets me it gets me kind of choked up. My life is very rich and satisfying, and sometimes kind of painful. It means I'm alive. That's what part of it means. And I've got a heart that recognizes we've got a lot of human tragedy, a lot of death, we've got new life. Right now in human history, about 250,000 people die every day. About half of those are abortion. That's worldwide. We just don't have as many skydiving deaths because another universal determination has been given for the cause of death. Look at the news to figure out what that is. If I even mention it, they would probably want to take my channel down. I won't even tell you why. Well, I can tell you, I can infer why my one video was taken down. Censorship. That'll do. That'll hashtag censorship. That's why. So right now, what's happening on mainstream media and the publications in Hollywood and the indoctrination system and governments of the world have created an official narrative that the Silicon Valley social media news networks and information and entertainment is supporting. How about that? I'm telling on them. And so is J.P. Sears. He's one of my other favorite people on using humor to expose the reality with sarcastic and sardonic and dry humor. Yeah, how about that? I share his work, and my comment to something like amazing analysis added to my artificial intelligence machine learning research library shared worldwide. Hashtag, and then in my comment I'll put hashtag the playlist. The thing of it is, quite often when I do that, the playlist is going somewhere else. Good morning. Good to see you. How are y'all doing today? Good. Excellent. Good to see y'all. What's your little girl, right?
Yes.
What's her name?
Ribby. R-I-B-B-Y.
Hi, Rivy.
Who are you with?
Oh, I've got a YouTube channel. Would you like a sticker to it? You're on it right now. Here you go. And you can call me anytime if you like. If you put my name in a hashtag Google search, you'll find a lot of mind-blowing content there.
Thank you.
And your first name?
Barbara.
Barbara. Nice to meet you, Barbara. And so now we've got a little family coming on out here too, and that's part of the symphony of life, right? We had them this age. Look at that. Aren't they adorable? So the documentary Earthing talks about the physical and physiological and psychological benefits of having the feet. Wow, that's an extreme close-up of my toes. Here they are. Earthing. There's Frankie earthing right there. Awesome. See, I can't do the recording, narration, and surfing. And quite frankly, I can't surf real good. Not like that. I can paddle out there and enjoy the view, enjoy the dolphins and the manta rays and the sharks. I'm not afraid of the sharks. However, if I thought I needed to come in because one was paying a little bit too much attention to me, I would do that too. But there you go. So, like, I've wondered what kind of elevation that jet trail is, or what is the elevation of that jet. And I was talking to a friend of mine. I was out here, okay, when the SpaceX launch came towards us. Okay, it was real pretty, and I talked to Rick, the photographer that was over there. I said, "What's that supposed to be?" He said, "That's the SpaceX launch." And I said, "Really?" And so what ended up happening was it was really clear. There weren't clouds in the sky, and there was a trail of smoke from whatever fell off of that launch vehicle. Maybe a booster rocket, probably, but it was on fire, and it left a trail down to the down to the water. It didn't look like it was something that was staying together. It looked like something that mostly burned up. I don't believe they're actually landing those booster rockets on a drone ship the way they're showing, any more than Nixon was talking supposedly to the astronauts on the moon with an old telephone and no delay. I've got a meme on my Facebook showing E.T. phoning home and President Nixon supposedly talking to the astronauts. What did Elon say? He who controls the memes controls the world. Think about it. You know what? I'm not hating on Elon. I think he's actually a pretty funny guy. I would love to see him born again of God's Spirit. That's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see that for everybody. So I blow bubbles and hand out invitations and interact with everybody I can. Isn't that special? I'm built for this kind of thing. Bill Gates. I would love to see Bill Gates born of God's Spirit. He might have to change some of his activity. Same thing with the world's billionaires and trillionaires. Do you know any trillionaires? They're not real chatty about how powerful they are. They don't need to be. It's not what drives them. Most likely Satan drives them. Well, the Most High drives me, empowers me. That's why I do this. So here they come, the passing parade of people up and down the beach. Let's zoom in on the Myrtle Beach skyline here. Depending on where I'm zoomed in on, the smallest buildings way out at the end, which are hard to see, are about 25 miles away. And here we've got some contact information. There's a surf camera right there that's online. There's the camera on the top of the building online. You can see the setting from your location. Care to? So a couple years ago, I'm going to say in 2019, we had approximately 20 million guests come to the Grand Strand of Myrtle Beach. Roughly 60 miles of coastline. So that's why millions spend billions to come here. And then I'll leverage worldwide instantaneous portable communications and the system of distribution of YouTube, Google, Facebook, the whole artificial intelligence, machine learning and censoring system. I'll use it all to the maximum that I can. So if you hashtag my name, you may see all the different platforms that I'm on. A website can get taken down. For gosh sakes, I could get taken down literally, physiologically. I could be killed if God allows it. But here's the real comforting reality. Nothing is going to happen to me that God either doesn't cause or allow. That's why. That's why I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. Oh, I think he's going to get on this. Yeah, baby. Oh, he might be looking for a better wave. Dun 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 dun. Man, I'll tell you, I saw the movie Jaws when I was a kid in the 70s. It freaked me right out. Of course, we need a bigger boat. I'm like, man, we have had a little black-tip shark that would come around here. His name, we called him Brody. He was about 7 feet, but he wasn't aggressive towards us or the swimmers. I remember seeing him like 12 years ago or so out here next to a lady. I thought it was their child swimming next to her. I said, "Is that your child?" She said, "No, it's a shark." So we ran away. It was in knee-deep water, but he wasn't an aggressive threat or anything. So one day I was out here, and what I did is I put my beach chair out on the flat spot in the sand there. There's a contour. It comes up here, and then there's a big flat spot there. It's really wide. And that shark was swimming around me, but not threatening me. And that was part of my not being afraid of him anymore. It wasn't that just doing that caused that to happen. I just wasn't afraid of him anymore. However, I wouldn't want to be throwing a wetsuit on and swimming around seals off the coast of California, where great whites like to be, and they like to eat seals. I don't want to be doing a seal impersonation in shark-infested waters. Just doesn't make sense. Okay, so there you go. Let's see what we got going over here. Oh wow, we've got a little Klingon too. Klingon as in, let's see. There we go. That's a baby within the last year. And then a couple earlier editions there. Good morning. So when people aren't as interactive, I don't press the issue, and that's okay. I've been out here sometimes people have been out here for more than or about a week, and sometimes they'll come up to me on the last day or never. But some of them will say, "Hey, I saw you out there. What you doing?" I'll tell you what Frankie's doing. He's catching a wave. No, he will. I'll get another one. It looks like it's about to peak out pretty soon. So in the flood that Noah prepared for, as recorded in Genesis, God opened up the floodgates of heaven, or the floodgates, the fountains of the deep, the floodgates of heaven up in the firmament, opened that up, and then caused it to start raining. Now, I would say that it looks like we've got some electronic activation of conductive particulate, aka hashtag geoengineering, hashtag chemtrails, hashtag nanobots. I'm not just doubling down on the hashtags because somebody said I need to have titles, actual titles to my videos. It's more of it makes sense. You can, if you hashtag it, you'll find a lot of data. Now look at this. Here's the footprint of probably a 4-year-old and a parent, a dad. That's a dad footprint. That's somebody insulated with a shoe. That looks like a mom footprint. Yeah, how about that? Here we go. Man, he gave her a really good shot. The waves aren't quite as big as they were a couple days ago. A couple days ago they were much, much bigger. It was awesome out here. So I'm going to show you the reflection of the sun on the beach as I just move a little bit. See how it shows up? And then Frankie riding it. Kind of missed that a little bit. Now when the tide is going out, then we'll see a lot of pelicans going down towards the in the point there. Down at the Inlet Point Plantation, there's horseback riding on the beach. Good morning, Ben. Ben gets a lot of good rides. He and his girlfriend were out here surfing and they were on a wave together. It was so cool. So when we have good, a lot of optimal surfing, we'll have, many people, 30 surfers or so, and families and skimboarders, and people come from all over to enjoy this. There we can see the sun hitting that and just moving a little bit, not so much. That's all part of the mathematical equation of our electric world. The sun gives off energy. Evidence of that is hashtag solar. Hashtag solar. Can you imagine living in a hashtag concrete housing? Hashtag Cybertruck. Hashtag Nikola Tesla. See what you get there. One of the least represented in the educational system. I didn't find out about Nikola Tesla until a few years ago. Yeah. See what you find there. Pretty amazing. So I was hit by lightning down on the beach, down there. Hashtag struck by lightning. Here we go. I was holding my Tommy Bahama lightning rod umbrella. There, awesome. That's buoyancy. Hashtag buoyancy. B-U-O-Y-A-N-C-Y. Hashtag surfing. Hey Frankie, I got you on a live stream right now. Yeah, good to see you, man. You got some nice rides. Oh yeah. Right now the water's about 67 degrees or so. Pretty comfortable. Right now the sun is very intense because it's very close. Like in the winter, it'll come up over there. In the summer, it comes up way over there. A whole different movement. So in a world filled with deception, being aware of the actual environment we live in is very powerful. Reality vindicates the proclamation of the Bible that says we live on a stationary level earth. Jesus spoke on a level place in the Gospel of Luke. You can hashtag firmament and look at it in Genesis, the structure that covers this earth, like a terrarium. Here he goes. Nice. So I've blown bubbles when it's like this, and it'll sometimes take them on up and bring people out on their balconies and eventually down on the beach to have a conversation. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Thanks for coming on down. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing. So I've got a lot of subscribers that have no content on their channel, and you could if you wanted to. You just click on the add to your library if you want to add playlists to your library. If you want to add videos to your a playlist that you create, you can do that. Yeah. Here we go. He's on it. So, what you're seeing is the water seeking level. We've got in this area between 4 and 6.5 feet, 4 and 7 feet actually of tidal activity. The Bay of Fundy in Newfoundland, or way up north, the Bay of Fundy has over 35 foot of tidal activity. I've met people that almost drowned in the tide coming in. Just had a fish jump out of the water, a little one. That typically means that they're really happy. No, it means they're being chased by a bigger fish. Or maybe they're happy. How could I know? One of my friends said, there's no special people. I said, I'm a special person. I'm actually born of the Spirit. He said, the animals don't have consciousness. I said, how is that knowable to you? How can you possibly know that? He's my PhD friend. He said, I'll never go to your channel. I'm like, okay. But we're still friends. I've had him and his wife belly laughing even recently. Yeah, it goes like that. You know, the whole denial of access, well, that can happen. A denial of access prompt on the computer, that can happen in the marriage too, or in the dating relationship. It's all about context and perspective. Dun, dun. I've got a video with Bill Gates, and it's a mix on him. Very funny, humorous. I've got humor on my channel. For gosh sakes, I've got humor in my life. So literally, I get calls from all over the world, anytime. Any time of the day or night. I don't mind at all. Not at all. Because in this world of truth-telling, it can be very, very challenging, very difficult. A lot of people give lip service to loving the truth. Do they really? So, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. How about that? You see any strong delusion and deluded, brainwashed, mind-controlled people around? I see them every day. Every day. And then I see those that love the truth and embrace the truth. That's why people love me and love to hate me. That's the way it is. That's how I found it. Now, see what Frankie's doing there? I can do that really good. I got that down. I can get myself out here and do that, and I love it. There's a totally different sound and vantage point out in the ocean, away from the beach. I've even swam on out past the end of the pier there. The real us is not our body. The real us is a soul dwelling within the body. Let that sink in. Some say don't judge a book by its cover. I don't typically have a big library behind me on a live stream with all the books that I've read. I've got a playlist that I've watched and I share, and then I've got a social media presence that encompasses a wide variety of other platforms that allow different kinds of content to be shared. Not only there's some platforms that have more or less censorship. And then of course there's all the data mining that goes on with all that. So with artificial intelligence and the sentient world simulation, there's a lot of amazing reality to know about. So I've got an artificial intelligence machine learning research library that includes the playlist and is not limited to that. Watch the reflection. It's going to be epic. Or at least it's cool. Well, there we go. It's been a very interesting live stream. I have to wait to read the comments because I can't read them when I'm doing the stream. What I was going to say too is that not only do I evaluate what I hear, like on some type of a broadcast, I evaluate what other people say. And I evaluate what I think, what I believe. And one of the common questions, the most common question that I ask, is it true? Is what I'm thinking about actually true, or is it a clever deception? So I'm not afraid to expose myself to new information. I can do that, and some of the information is coming from a source that is not reliable. So I know that. I know when it's coming from a source that I cannot trust, I consider that. It doesn't mean that everything they say is a lie. It just means that there's an agenda behind the deception. There's the problem, reaction, solution. Hashtag David Icke. You could do that. You could hashtag James Corbett. He'll have the globe spinning behind his bald head and not expose he'll expose the globalist, but not the global lie. And he's not going to tell you about the need to be born again either. I don't think I've ever heard him talk about anything like that. So I'd like to see James Corbett born again too. Like I said earlier, I'd like to see everybody born of the Spirit of God. So in the Gospel of John account, Jesus says of Judas Iscariot, Satan entered into him. Wow. Was that the end of Satan? No, he keeps on appearing in one willing individual after another, apparently. Apparently, they sold their souls for rock and roll. Hashtag Black Sabbath. Hashtag they sold their souls for rock and roll. You could do that. You'll find the video. You could hashtag Satan, see what you come up with. Hashtag Pizzagate. Hashtag human trafficking. Hashtag adrenochrome. Wow, I might get flagged for some of these. Hashtag COVID-19. See what you come up with. See what's out there, what you can discover. Hashtag, let's see, what's another good one? Immunity. One of the best physical barriers for contagion is a healthy immune system. How do you get that? How do you get a healthy immune system? Well, one of the things that I believe is most important is to actually be born of the Spirit. So, nothing is going to happen to me or you or anybody else that God doesn't directly cause or allow. Herein lies the reality. Are you believing something that's obviously not true or possible? That's where a lot of people fall into I don't care about the shape of the earth, it's all about Jesus. Well, you have to actually make sure you actually got the upgrade, that you're actually born of the Spirit. How deceived can you be and actually be born of the Spirit and actually love the truth? I'm not going to be able to, you or anybody else can overcome God helping somebody believe the lie they apparently want to believe, where He sends them a strong delusion because they have not a love for the truth. So how I came into this was different than many. I was spiritually dead, was given new life in Christ, and then I was exposed to the reality of the global lie and this kaleidoscope of conspiracy theories that are designed to hide the true conspirators and to hide the truth of what they're actually doing. Two kids stealing a bicycle, by definition, is a conspiracy. And there's a lot of theories that hide those that are the architects of the deception. In most states, if you take a gun into a bank and rob it, you'll go to prison for a long time. However, you can own a bank and steal from humanity, and you can own the central banking system or run it and steal from humanity. You can increase the purchasing volume by digitally expanding the currency and create inflation, which robs everybody of their purchasing power. Hashtag cryptocurrency, hashtag blockchain, hashtag Federal Reserve. So in essence, the commenter that said I need to put some real titles, I may do that. I'm not upset with the comment like I mentioned earlier. However, I wanted to illustrate the value of the hashtagging, and I was told that they were going to stop that, and they may. I believe the making everybody's liked videos playlist private was largely done by me pressing that envelope and encouraging people to like videos and make that playlist publicly viewable. They stopped it on December 5th of 2019. It used to be that I could show my photo album on Facebook and put the link in the description of people, pelicans, and planes flying through the Second Trade Center Tower on 9/11 of 2001, or the hole in the Pentagon before it collapsed, obviously exposing the impossibility of the official story. So does the artificial intelligence censoring system find me amusing? Probably, yeah. Am I a danger? Perhaps. But they'll let comedy up. Am I a comedy routine? Some think so. I'm working on new material all the time. I've been saying that for about 30 years. And I am, you know. I think about things. I used to be stuck in behavioral activity that was very repetitive and almost like obsessive compulsive disorder. They love to put a label on anything that they can throw pills into somebody's pie hole for. Their pharmaceutical hole. Well, they can stick it up their arse, because I'm not taking drugs anymore. So pharmaceuticals that were designed to affect cognitive function took away my desire to live, made me suicidal and homicidal. How about that? So right before I was born again, Robin Williams apparently committed suicide, and I happened to Google A Beautiful Mind and see what they had to say about that. The script writers for the movie A Beautiful Mind had Jonathan Nash stay on his psychiatric medication, his antipsychotic to deal with schizophrenia. Now, many in the Christian community consider schizophrenia perhaps to be demonically activated or affected. In fact, many mental illnesses apparently may be totally resolved when the child of God is actually born of the Spirit. So I'm not the guy I was. There's people that absolutely hate me. Bummer for them. That's how I see it. It's a bummer for them. I love to do what I get to do. Okay, so obviously we've got a lot of weather activity, weather modification. That's the way it is. What are we going to do about it? Well, it's show and tell for adults. That's what it is. So that doesn't seem to be a big deal. How about when we have a storm that knocks out piers, that floods out people's lives? I met Hugo last night. Because of Hurricane Florence, he couldn't get the medical attention that he wanted, and what he got was a paralyzation below the waist. I pushed him out on the pier last night. I was out there, and he was rolling himself, and there was a grade he had to get up. And I said, hey, would you like me to give you a push out there? He said, yeah, if you're not too busy. I said, I'm fine with that. So I did, and I talked to him a little bit, gave him a sticker, found out his story on how he got in the wheelchair. He had a renal failure and on dialysis and that, so he's lost his mobility of his legs. He said, I used to be able to walk. So the storm that knocked out the pier knocked out his mobility, and that's kind of how that can work out. Hey, ladies.
How are you?
Good morning. Great, thank you.
Huh?
It is. So those are friends. They may know to go to the channel. I've given them stickers so they know that that's something they can do if they want. So in the lives of human oh, this is funny. Let's see, we got a digger over there. Where is he? There he is. Isn't that hilarious? Rescue dogs and the people that rescue them. I've had people say that rescue dog saved my life. Got him out of the house and out on the beach and off the alcohol and drugs. How about that? Rescued a dog and saved his life. Hashtag rescue dogs. Rescue dogs! Yeah, you can go to your humane society and see if there's any that you can save from certain death. Met a couple that had a English bulldog rescued from a puppy mill. And their puppies go for between $3,000 and $7,000. She had lots of puppies. Made those people a lot of money, apparently. And then there's human trafficking, human sacrifice. Hashtag Satanism. See what you come up with. Pretty dark. I'm exposing human trafficking. You can see it on my channel. I've had death threats, you know. I had to clean up a crime scene where a friend of mine was drugged, raped, and assaulted with a weapon. I had to clean up the blood from all of the mess. It was painful to see. And then she was either relocated in a witness protection plan, or she was killed, murdered, or she actually committed suicide 4 years ago. I don't know what it was. I didn't press the issue because I didn't want to bring attention to her. Obviously, the name will be anonymous for obvious reasons. That's the world I run in. I don't know of any. My dad did professional sales. He called on the military-industrial complex. Tunnel boring machines in the 70s at Manitowoc Engineering. Oshkosh Truck making weapons of mass destruction. I mean, able to deploy missiles and weapons and of mass quantities. And cement mixers to build a future. You know, Oshkosh Truck. So if a person is not pro-U.S. military in a town that's their primary job, is the military-industrial complex contractor, they could get their car spit on or killed. How about that? Well, I can do it from a distance, but I get military that visit from all over. Hashtag super soldiers. See what happens when a young man is struggling in life and he decides to join the military, and they turn him into a killing machine that self-destructs when he gets home. Hashtag marketing of madness. Hashtag big pharma. When I say hashtag, that means look there. Look at it. Hashtag thimerosal. It's in products that are injected. It's mercury. It's a mercury derivative. Hashtag New World Order. NWO. How about that? I probably have more hashtags than anybody else. I don't know anybody else doing what I do. I didn't fashion it after anybody else. Not to say that I wanted to be different than everybody else. What I wanted to do was what God created me to do. That's what you're looking at. So Some days, you know, I'm up 1 o'clock in the morning to be out here for a sunrise or before. That's okay. It all kind of blends together. The days, the hours, you know, like when I got home last night, I was on the phone with a friend and I said, oh man, I need to mow the lawn. It wasn't looking so pristine as I like to have it, because it communicates somebody's home and they're paying attention. There were just some weeds that were kind of like a little above the rest. They were sticking up a little bit too high. And the ducks and the geese and that like the clover, but I wanted to level it all out. I wanted to make it look uniform, edged and blown and well maintained, so I did. But it was like a half hour before sunset and I got it done. Not just because I don't want to get a letter from our homeowners association. We keep a really nice neighborhood, and I've got people around me that are tactically prepared. Just consider that. We have a neighborhood watch program of well facilitated, conscientious individuals that like what I'm doing and look out for me. Consider that. I'm potentially talking to anybody in the world. Not likely everybody in the world, just could be anybody that knows, oh, he's doing a live stream on the beach, he's not at home. Yeah, consider that there are people that care about me and what I do. And they're right next to my house. Yeah, there you go. How about that? How about that? Wow, I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on the pelican out there. Looks like a couple of them. So see how the pelican apparently disappears off the edge of the, no, just out of our line of sight because of water. When we have the tidal activity rising and falling, that's just the way it is. I've got video zoomed in on the moon, zoomed in on horses and ships, apparently falling off the edge of the flat earth or going away from us on the ball. No, neither of them. There's just water in between me. We live on a stationary level plane, whether you like it and or agree with it or not. So I've got some of the coolest friends. Surfers are some of the coolest people. People that come to the beach, and I see them as surfers too. We like the surf. We like the ocean. When I moved out of the house when I was a teenager, I moved to Corpus Christi, Texas because the oil field was booming and I worked in the oil field using electromagnetic drill pipe inspection tools, Magnaflux they call it. And I worked on one of the machines that did it electrically with a massive electromagnetic system of inspection, but it couldn't get the last 18 inches of each end of the pipe where we did a manual inspection. So if you've got a drill pipe that's got a crack in it, you would rather know when it's on the rack and you can weld it, grind it and repair it, rather than have it snap off in the ground. Hashtag big oil. Hashtag abiotic oil. It's not a fossil fuel. It's continually regenerated by the biological activity of microorganisms in the ocean and in the earth and all of that. Do I have a degree in that? No, I don't need one. I just know that it's abiotic, and they're lying about dinosaurs and vegetation turning into oil, like prehistoric vegetation. So there's like seaweed and microbes and plankton and that forms into a usable fuel source. And then we have primary water, this ocean, will go down into the earth. It goes into the sand, like behind me here. And then it's filtered through a filter media, the sand, okay? The water that I drink has a filter. It's called reverse osmosis, and it's put through a carbon filter. And there's a pre-filter before that. And it's a very, what's that?
You're talking into your camera.
I'm talking to you now, and you're on my camera. Good to see y'all. Hey, would you like a sticker to my channel?
Are we going to be famous?
I don't know, perhaps. Here, I'll give you some of these and you can hand them to as many of your friends as you want. Go ahead and put them in a Google search, my name, hashtag Robert Forsch, and you'll find yourself and mind-blowing content there.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah, mind-blowing, guaranteed.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can call anytime. Send me any information you like. Thank you all so much. And there you go. What'll happen from that? I don't know. I may get a call. Could be. I may have a visitor up here later. But that's part of the, like when my dad, I was telling you about my dad being a salesman. He said, you know, he did it professionally, from Morton Salt to Firestone Tires to AM Castle and Lapham Hickey Steel. Plasma cutters and high pressure water cutting through steel, and the manufacture of the military industrial complex, shipbuilding and all that. And I had been paying attention to him for a long time and learning from him. Well, what he said is, Robert, I've never met anybody like you. I said, well, that's great. That means you're paying attention, because likewise. Now, I meet people that have a love for the truth and a proclivity to race dirt bikes or cars or like conspiracy theories and want to know the truth. The common thread that I most appreciate about people I associate with are people that love the truth and aren't afraid to tell it, even though it's really unpopular. See the reflection behind me? There they are. So reflections will appear to be angled because the surface of the beach is angled. The grade behind me is about a 3 to 4% grade. And then where it gets almost flat, it's about a 1% grade. If we lived on a ball 25,000 miles around, it would mean 8 inches per mile would indicate that between here in California, there would be a hump in the middle of the country over 350 miles tall, and hashtag Kansas, flatter than a pancake. It's literally flatter than a pancake. You can throw a hunk of butter on it, like a dollop of butter, and you got like a dome or a mountain or something. The Mississippi River ignores another 350 miles of missing elevation. So reality exposes the global eye. Once again, that's why I'm not interested in another new flat earth video like dedicated only to that. I mentioned the shape of the earth in biblical cosmology in almost all of my videos, because the truth is that they're lying about something so massive, most of the world is unaware of it. And the beautiful thing about it is we can know that they're lying. And I ain't buying. Are you buying? Are you buying the lion? This is show and tell for adults. See, there you are right there.
All right. So our friends in Kansas can see us now, huh?
Yeah, if they're online, or they'll be able to. Anything you want to tell them?
Hi. We're having a great time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Miss you guys.
And where do you go back to?
Kansas
I just
City.
mentioned Kansas. Kansas flatter than a pancake.
No, not all of it. You're
They've-
missing a lot of beautiful Kansas.
They've got elevation though, right?
Yeah.
But there's some real flat land in Kansas. Yeah.
Farm.
Oh yeah, that's the point. You'll understand why that's part of the point when you go to the video.
What's funny is the number of people that think once you get to the Colorado border, it's completely flat at Kansas.
Yeah.
And then there's immediately mountains. in
That's not how it
Colorado.
is,
No.
Oh
huh?
no, It's
Like
actually
Colorado.
eastern Colorado is
Ah.
more desolate than western Kansas.
Really?
Yeah.
Good to know. Now, I've driven through there, but I didn't drive through the Kansas mountains. I didn't know. Do you have?
Rolling hills
I
are
wouldn't-
beautiful.
Are they foothills or
Yeah,
rolling? I
those
love
are
the rolling hills.
And actually, if you get up into northeast Kansas, they're a little more abrupt hills, but they're still hills.
Yeah.
Up towards
Um,
Kansas City.
Now, I've been to
North Iowa.
Denver. Denver has, Colorado has some big hills.
Oh yeah.
Hey, they have mountains.
They have mountains. Although
That's what they call them there.
It's a mile high in Denver.
Oh yeah,
we
I've been
went
there.
to the Grand Tetons last fall,
Yeah.
and those are more majestic than
Now that's where Pikes Peak is, right?
Pikes Peak is Colorado Springs.
Colorado
So
Springs.
that's south of Denver.
How far from
The
that is?
Tetons from Denver, an hour.
Oh, okay. So it's in that same type of geography,
Right,
though.
it's straight south.
It's
Going
beautiful.
Rock Mountain.
Yeah, I was there a couple years ago. Just loved it.
I think the Tetons are considered part of the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, really?
They're just the newest mountains. So they aren't as gradual. They just appear to just jump out of a valley, and they're more rugged.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, officially we're at sea level.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. I love sea level.
But don't
It means the ocean's here and the pelicans and the people
right.
come from Kansas and South America and all over the world.
whatever you do in Colorado, don't pet the bears.
Don't pet the bears, especially grizzly bears, right?
Yeah. Especially
Some things you can only do once, some things you don't have to ever do, right?
Good one.
Have a good one. So, like, in part of what happens with me and the people that I meet is obviously there's no script I have that I run with. I just see things in kind of a interesting, unique, we are unique kinds of people. We all have our unique perspective, and some people find it funny, some people find it disturbing. I don't know. I found this whole life system of experience to be tragic and exciting and invigorating and challenging. So a lot of what I was told was absolutely fact that I shouldn't even question because it was presented with such authority, as in the educational system, the Encyclopedia Britannica, and so on and so popular science and all the different venues that are supposed to be purveyors of reality. Well, I found out that they were part of a very elaborate agenda. In fact, Walter Cronkite saying, and that's the way it is. Well, he was, as far as I know, New World Order insider, hashtag Walter Cronkite. So, there you go. It's kind of funny. So here they come now. Let's zoom in on them for a moment. It'll look different because of the lighting, and they've got the Myrtle Beach in the background. So I'm gonna cut the broadcast soon and bring out some bubbles, and those bubbles will go miles either way sometimes, up to the tops of the building sometimes, and around the world in the imagination and digitally. It's still enough now. I should probably whip them out right now. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do that. So what I'll do, we've already had high tide and it's going out. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get a nice setting, and then I'll go ahead and get some bubbles. Want to think about it for a moment. There's those footprints in the sand. See, a lot of times bubbles will shoot out, air bubbles will shoot out of the beach, out of the sand, because the water is displacing the air, pushes it out of there. There's an extreme amount of, okay, so I got a question for you. Do you know how much a gallon of water weighs? It depends. It depends on the temperature, because the temperature changes volume and density of water. It's about 8 gallons, and to go from 60 to over 100, it's going to expand a gallon of water by about an ounce. And then when it cools down, there's an air space there and a vacuum on the bottle. Test it out. It's true science. It's reality. Reality exposes the truth. I'm going to flip it around and set up here, I think. And I'll be back. I was looking for my optimal view. Good morning. I've actually got a live video stream going on right now. Would you like a sticker to my channel? You're on it right now. Hey, good to see y'all. Where are you from?
Vermont.
Vermont. Well, welcome from Vermont. Here, I've got a sticker for you. If you put my name in a hashtag in a Google search, you'll find my channel and you'll see yourself there.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for coming by. All right, I'll be back in just a couple minutes. So one of the challenges I have is I believe my, good morning, I believe my camera is about to overheat, so I needed to find some shade here. Yeah, from what I understand, if my camera overheats, I might lose the whole broadcast. And I didn't have my white case on it, so I'll be right back. I just am on my way. Thanks. So what I'm going to do for this right now is to move this on over so you can get an idea of some of the setup that I do, how this works. And I want to kind of protect my phone from the sun. Here we go. All right, so I wanted to show a bit of my setup. If it gets real windy, I'll drop the board down to the sand so it doesn't blow all over the place. And then I'll bring my other chair out soon so people can come on over. A lot of times the gentle sound of the wind chime draws attention. It can be a water chime too. And then as the tide goes out, I'll move my other things underneath here. That'd be my wetsuit. And so now I'll just go ahead and show you a little bit of what this looks like. And like I said, I use gazillion bubbles. They're hypoallergenic, non-staining, non-toxic. Oh, please don't. Oh, good job. I thought he might want to mark my stuff. That was funny. Little Sparky over there, I don't know if that's her name, but or his name, lifted his leg on one of the pilings. I just didn't want him lifting him on my stuff. There you go. So the bubbles attract attention, and let's see what happens as I go down the beach here a little bit. So on a windy day, what'll end up happening is the bubbles will follow a slipstream around a building, so that if the wind is coming from the south, that's coming from right behind me, and there will be all kinds of vortexes around the buildings, and it's beautiful. It attracts a lot of attention, and then I'm not chasing people down. They'll come on over to me, and typically there's a level of curiosity as to what I'm doing, what I'm about, and so that's why I'll keep on doing this. I want people to make an informed choice on the truth about everything. How about that? So I'm going to flip this around. There we go. We can tell when things aren't level, right? You can take a machinist level and set it. I can set it on the sand and level it out, and the sun will move, and the level will stay right perfectly level. How about that? Like clockwork, testable, repeatable observations that you can do for yourself if you want. I set up my pool table with a very large and accurate level, so there's not a roll to it. Imagine that. Couldn't even have a friendly game of billiards if we lived on a spinning water ball hurling through space. How about that? So reality exposes the global lie, and so do I. I'm exposing it. Show and tell for adults. It's not one thing, it's basically just about everything that I've been taught, that I've learned, I found out was not true. So let me, I'm going to disconnect this. It'll just make it a little bit easier. So I bring a lot of stuff out here. It creates curiosity. That's what it does. So, like for example, that bubble will get bigger. The drops of water, like that you can see underneath it, would keep on coming out. But here's the other thing. If I put it upright like that, the water will expand out of the top. There will be a lot of bubbles that form inside because of the expansion of the molecules. The temperature will go from the 60s or so up to over 100 degrees. And here's one of the other things I want to show you, is that the water in the glass will create a lens that can actually catch things on fire. See that focal point right there? Right where my foot is? That would burn it. Food for thought. How about that? This is a nice chair. I'll set up my other chair over there, like this one, and I'll set my cooler right in the middle, and I can sit on that and get good shade and chill out on the beach here. Can see the reflection and the shadow, right? Shadows and reflections, a lot of clues. Where in the world could a wind chime hang upside down in relationship to other wind chimes? There's almost no air movement here, very little. There's actually probably a little movement of the pier as the waves are hitting it. That, I believe, is what we were looking at. There would never ever be plumb or level on a spinning water ball hurling through space. That is the reality. That is the truth about that. So that's why I hashtagged truth in my video. truth about everything, basically. You can take a picture of it, send it around the world if you want, along with those bubbles, along with those smiles, if you want. Later on today, there will be a bunch of people sitting up there. Opens up at the Boardwalk Beach Cafe, opens up at 11 o'clock, so we'll have a lot of guests there too. And then, from that vantage point, I can't go up there now, it's closed, but I can give you kind of an idea of what they'll see. They'll see me over there interacting with people, and the tide will go out almost to the halfway point of the pier. It'll be really wide. And then later on, when the tripod goes away and the camera is charging, people will be eager to come on over sometimes to find out what I'm doing here, what I'm talking about, what I'm showing. It's a mission field that comes to us. So I've met fabulous people here from all around the world, and locals who live here and have, for example, Aloha Water Sports right there in the middle. Shout out to Aloha Water Sports. They will be, if you mention that the Truth Guy sent you, they'll give you a discount. Where are they? Come on. You can go parasailing and banana boat riding. They're going to launch a sale pretty quick. Uh-oh. There we are. I don't know what I just did, but we're back. So the temperature today will be in the 70s out here. And now people can obviously walk through here if they want. The way I have my setup is that I have the chair like in the middle, so people can walk on either side of my cooler, which will also be in the middle. I'm not like setting up a compound, it's just I've got a little display that people can look at when they come on by. The shirts, the logos can be seen from quite a distance. Later on there will be a melodic, harmonic sound. You can look up cymatics. Hashtag cymatics. Look at what work Nigel Stanford has done with cinematography and videography, timescapes, time-lapse videos from around the world. Crystalline skies, you can see what the whole sky looks like as it's moving, obviously in different directions from different locations around the world and vantage points, along with the different seasons, okay? And then the stars are moving in unison, and it's spectacular. And then there will be some wandering stars that are doing their own thing, kind of like humanity, doing their own thing for the most part. And God's elect are doing His thing, like me. I'm one of the elect, predestined for eternal life. That's why I do this. What a privilege to be a child of the Most High, to get an upgrade of the power of the Spirit, the presence of the Spirit. Yeah, that's why I'm so excited to be able to do it, because, well, God created me to do this. Shadows and reflections. See them? On some of my vintage video, I've got a Bible.com flag that was about 20 feet high that I had on the back of the Truth Cycle. The truth cycle is my VT 500 Honda Shadow. Oh yeah, how about that? Pretty awesome. It was tough around on windy days. I tried to keep it to a minimal. So when we think of plumb and level, do you think these people in this rig there working on the side of the building, do you think they're spinning, wobbling, and gyrating 1,000 miles an hour? Of course not. That's not possible. Yet, a lot of people have never applied the critical thinking to realize that. But here's the thing. Even if they get the shape of the earth isn't really a globe, unless they're born of the Spirit, they'll be in hell forever anyway. Now, the reason why I do this, even though I believe God has decided who His children are, who the elect are, they need somebody to tell them about this whole thing. Ergo, that would be me, and anybody else who wants to participate in it. So if I put Bible.com in a Facebook comment, a picture of the Bible shows up, and it takes less than a day to hear the entire New Testament. How about that? That's pretty cool. I can do that when I'm mowing the lawn, riding a motorcycle, sleeping, almost sleeping. You can see videos where I've talked about that. A lot of people said, yeah, I read the Bible. It's too many contradictions, doesn't make sense to me. Well, that's only because they don't know the author. How about that? I know the author. I know the Most High. He's my Heavenly Father. You may know Him as Yeshua, Yahweh. There may be other names and references that He's totally cool with. You can look them all up. See if you can find them out. Find out what they are. There we go. Aloha Water Sports. I've done that. Parasailing. It's awesome. And banana boat riding. And horseback riding. I live a charmed life. I used to race professional level motocross too. I've got a pretty expensive skill set. Here we go. Classic rescue dog there. Yeah, me, I'm a rescue dog. Here's another one. That's a boy dog. How about that? Our sons, Austin is so funny. He's one of our sons. He has a very interesting way with words. Imagine that. New London Bulldogs. They have a huge fiberglass bulldog. It's about the size of a Volkswagen. And it's definitely a boy dog. It's obvious, if you know what I mean. Not a yet to be determined gender. All right. So now I'm going to zoom in on the banana boat a little bit. That's about 10 times. So on the P1000 that I have, it'll zoom in 125 times. 12 and a half times that. Good morning. Oh, you're fine. Here he is. Look at him in all his magnificence. Good dog. Good boy. So there it is. See all the reflections? That's the way it works. We've got video of these buildings reflected on the flat sand out there. Mostly flat. 1 to 2% grade. I think that was like one of the last big waves of this tidal activity. It'll do that right towards the end of high tide. Even past high tide, all of a sudden, swoosh, a big wave will come on in. Then we've got the all the people that walk out on the pier. $60 to walk annually. Pretty cool. So I meet people that have condos here, that have businesses here, vice presidents of major corporations, and as well as working for the intelligence agencies. There's actually a very good element within the intelligence agencies that hide those dirty scoundrels, unintentionally, I'm sure. And that's part of the intrigue and the challenge. So that's how that works. Yep. Day in, day out. Good morning. There we go. People of all different backgrounds. In the metaphor of the matrix and the allegorical relationship to our current life experience, there's agents, there's the woman in red, you can see that, she's on there, with the critique and commentary on what that is. Now this is really unpopular with a lot of the women, in one way or another. I'll just toss it out there and let you consider it. The woman in the red is a metaphor and an example of our primal desire for significance and satisfaction, in how the women of the world largely, or those looking like the women of the world, there's a lot of transgendering and a transpocalypse that incorporates technological implementation in our physiology, transhumanism, our reliance on that technology, like I do for a worldwide broadcast like this, as well as finding out data, knowing what's happening, like is it high or low tide? Where is it? Where are events happening in the world? The thing of it is, this information can be contradictory. So with the law of non-contradiction, if there's a fact, a contrary viewpoint can't also be true. You can't have two opposing truths. There's the truth, and then there's everything else. Ergo. And who's the witches? That's in the talking about the architect. He uses that term, ergo, meaning there's going to be contradictory perspectives that can't both be right. Diametrically opposed realities cannot both be the same. They're opposite. They're like two ends of the same stick. They're on opposite ends. They're different. So in quantum physics and different terminology that a lot of people don't really understand, like one of the quotes is, if you believe you understand quantum physics, you don't understand quantum physics. Like, gotcha, but does it make any sense? So what I would say is that God knows everything. He's the true creator, and he indwells and empowers his children in a battlefield, hashtag super soldiers. What you'll find in super soldiers are satanically inhabited in some cases, and technologically enhanced physiology, like the Minority Report or RoboCop or Upgrade or the Ex Machina. You can look at the science fiction movies and see that science fiction has been mirroring some of the science reality and technological advancements. Arthur C. Clarke apparently came up with satellites, and then NASA followed suit with a lot of fake footage of cinematography on what they're saying are satellites, and yet we've got balloons maneuvering satellites and Actually, we've got satellite TV, satellite dishes that, as far as I understand, are bouncing frequencies off of the firmament, a crystalline structure, perhaps. God made it. He's going to create a new heaven and a new earth. Where will you be in that equation? So it takes less than a day to hear the entire New Testament, about 77 hours to hear from Genesis to Revelation, and then the book of Enoch is about 3.5 hours. Apparently, according to Enoch's writings, that apparently Jesus did refer to Enoch. You may know him as Yeshua, Yahweh, the living word, the living water. I like to say that because some people are really emphatic about just using a Hebrew reference for the Messiah. And I would say he's got many names, many titles. And so even if somebody can enunciate the Hebrew references and keeps feast days and all that, they've still got to be born of the Spirit. In the Gospel of John, Jesus is talking to the scribes and Pharisees. He says to them, "You can't hear me because you're of your father, the devil." So the devil has children, and Yeshua, Jesus, had the purview or the ability, the capacity to know that. So there you go. So I'm not saying this or that person is a spawn of Satan, that specific individual. What I would say is all those that are not born of God's Spirit in their human experience will have been inhabited by some derivative, apparently, of Satan, whether it's a demon, fallen angel. In the case of Judas, Satan entered into him, like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and then he killed himself. Judas did. So there you go. I got the low battery alert. I got the low battery alert. I don't know if you heard that. So I'm going to sign off now and get my battery charging up for those daily calls that I get wherever I am. Thank you for your public and private encouragement and support. I'm going to go for a finishing shot here. Yeah, why would anybody be curious? So even the puppy dogs and the birds are curious with the bubbles and that. And then the adults, yeah, hashtag my name. People lie about me. They'll say things that aren't true. How about that? Have you ever been lied about? I hate it when that happens. But there you go. I'm not in control of what anybody else does. I'm just responsible for my obedience to do what I'm created to do. So I believe in my final shot. I'm going to do it like this. Thank you so much.